A lot of people are telling a one-sided story. But is the guy really responsible for her death? So I found the second side of the story, and we're going to take a look at and contextualize a lot of the details that have come out so far. And is the guy responsible for the woman's death, or is it just a violent mob that is inciting, that is thirsty for blood? Because every time something happens to a woman, a guy has to be blamed for it. People don't really want justice today. Do people really want violence against men rather than justice? This is what we are going to discover today. So we're going to take a look at the entire story that Wronged had made. This is a YouTube channel. It's a 16 minutes, and we'll take a look at how much of it is complete or incomplete, right? So anywhere he presents half of the story, I will tell you the other half. So then you can understand and make your own conclusions about whether or not he is really responsible for her death. But we're gonna start this right now, and we'll see what else we can reveal about this case.
14 फरवरी 2025 शाम 6 बजे उड़ीसा की KIIT यूनिवर्सिटी में एनुअल फेस्ट शुरू हुआ। 3 दिन चलने वाले इस फेस्ट में जहां एक तरफ बड़े बड़े सितारे KIIT के कैंपस में परफॉर्म कर रहे थे और सारे स्टूडेंट्स उसी माहौल में डूबे थे, वहीं 16 फरवरी 2025 को दोपहर 3 बजे कॉलेज के गर्ल्स हॉस्टल QC4 में रहने वाली नेपाली स्टूडेंट प्राकृति लामसाल अपने रूम में डेड पाई गई। और इसी के बाद से कॉलेज का माहौल इस कदर बदला जो वहाँ के नेपाली स्टूडेंट्स ने कभी सोचा नहीं था। प्राकृति की मौत की खबर जैसे ही चारों तरफ फैलने लगी तो अथॉरिटीज ने लड़कियों को हॉस्टल में लॉक कर बाहर जाने से तो रोक दिया, लेकिन प्राकृति के दोस्तों ने कुछ ऐसा
So chat, we're also going to take a look at the recording that was leaked where the guy was abusing the girl, and they were using that evidence to blame him, but nobody was giving the context behind that recording. I think I have some information that can let us know what that recording is about.
खुलासा किया।
So we're going to go over that as well.
हॉस्टल में सभी स्टूडेंट्स का खून खौल उठा क्योंकि यह खबर सामने आई कि प्राकृति की मौत का जिम्मेदार उन्हीं के कॉलेज में पढ़ रहा 3rd ईयर का मैकेनिकल स्टूडेंट आद्विक श्रीवास्तव है।
Now, here is where the first problem is, buddy. You just said that all the girls found out that it's the guy who's responsible for her death. Now, what I want to ask, first of all, is what is the evidence for that? Because if I remember correctly, right, chat? Do you remember this? Let me know. When Chandigarh University case had come out, where one of the female students in Chandigarh University had recorded other women in their washrooms and sent it to her boyfriend, correct? So this was a harassment case that was released. And then there were recordings of the girls in Chandigarh University that were saying that even though it's one of our own dorm mates that is responsible for recording us nude, it wasn't the guy, it was the girl who recorded them, right? And then she sent it to a guy. So there were 2 genders responsible here. But the girl said, and this was a recording that was leaked, they said, no, it's only the guy that should get arrested. So find a way to cook a story where only he gets blamed for it. So there is like a group thinking among women, right? Where they say, if something happens, it's always the guy. It's an opportunity for us to start hatred machine on men. So when this guy says, I am frankly just asking.
उन्हीं के कॉलेज में पढ़ रहा 3rd ईयर का यह खबर सामने आई कि प्राकृति की मौत का जिम्मेदार उन्हीं के कॉलेज में पढ़ रहा 3rd ईयर का मैकेनिकल स्टूडेंट Advik Srivastava hai.
How do you know that? Yeah, how does he know that? Why evidence she's a woman, bro? Believe her. Yeah, that's exactly the problem, right? So this believe her mentality, I hope it doesn't lead to incitement. So we're going to find that out here. Yes, I remember that. And the case was dropped in Chandigarh. Yeah, and they had arrested the wrong guy too for a really long time, by the way, until the right people were caught, right? So we're going to see, like, why, what conclusion, what did you see that led you to a conclusion that he's responsible?
आद्विक और प्राकृति काफी वक्त से रिलेशनशिप में थे, लेकिन पिछले साल 2024 की नवरात्रि में दोनों अलग हो गए थे, जो प्राकृति के भेजे गए इस मेल से कंफर्म होता है। उन दोनों
Okay, so let's read it for a second. I'm sorry, Advik. I don't have my heart to talk to you today. Hold on, chat. Maybe never. I'm so hurt. So hurt that I cried to my mom saying everyone hates me. Bataya unko kis kisne kya bola. She was worried ki how am I handling these all alone. I'm glad that I opened up to her. Thank you, Advik, for taking me to trips and showing me things. These were totally new to me, and maybe hamna hot to kabi experience na. Yeah, chat, you read the Hindi part, okay? It was so fun. I'm gonna remember you always, only the best part. I'm sorry for everything I told and did. I'm sorry for hurting you. You don't deserve me. I'm really bad. Yeah. I hope this is not the evidence why they think Guy is responsible for her death, because this evidence just says that she's blaming herself in this. She's the bad person. Anyway, let's continue reading. I hope you will take care of yourself better. You're really strong, Adi. Trust yourself. And blah blah blah. Rejected you. I am so proud of you that you came this far. I had seen you in your lowest and seen you growing. I'm so proud of you, Adi. What am I reading? I don't see anything here. Be a good soul, kind soul, and forgive others. That's how you become a greatest person. Thank you for everything. Happy Dashin. This is the email that Prakriti has written to the guy. The one thing I can tell is, first of all, she looks like a person that is mentally really weak, because in the first few lines, she's crying about how people treat her so poorly, right? And that makes her cry. She thinks everybody hates her. And she mentally breaks down because of that. So she's a mentally weak person. That's the only conclusion I can get to by reading this. But anyway, let's see what's next.
में दोनों अलग हो गए थे, जो प्राकृति के भेजे गए इस मेल से कंफर्म होता है। उन दोनों के बीच ब्रेकअप कई महीनों पहले हो चुका था, लेकिन प्राकृति ने 4 हफ्ते पहले ही आईआरओ ऑफिस में आद्विक के अगेंस्ट हैरेसमेंट की कंप्लेंट फाइल की थी। आईआरओ यानी इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस ऑफिस, जो इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स के लिए फर्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ कांटेक्ट होता है, जहां वो किसी भी तरह की प्रॉब्लम्स को
That girl got the best romantic experience and still victim? Yeah, so that's what I was reading in that email. That's gaslighting and victimization, bro, at the same time. By the way, nice Hindi, bro. Damn. Anyway, so next, his accusation is that she had registered a harassment complaint in the IRO. Now, somebody explained to me, how is it that you write a very compassionate, like you had a consensual relationship, right? And then you write an email to the guy voluntarily, thanking him for all the time with him. Then you guys break up, and you accuse him of harassment. What are the details of that?
को उनके सामने रख सकते हैं। और यहाँ हम किसी छोटे मोटे कॉलेज की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम बात कर रहे हैं कलिंगा इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ
But isn't he gonna tell us the details of the harassment case?
इंडस्ट्रियल टेक्नोलॉजी की, जो कई प्रेस्टिजियस इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की मेंबर है, जहां 65 कंट्रीज से हजारों स्टूडेंट्स पढ़ने आते हैं। इसी वजह से सबको लगने लगा,
Hello? Where are the details of the harassment?
कि कॉलेज की इमेज को बचाने के लिए आईआरओ ने कोई ठोस कार्रवाई नहीं की, क्योंकि अगर की होती तो आज प्रकृति जिंदा होती। इसी बात का गुस्सा।
What are the details of the harassment case? If someone registered a terrorist case against me, do I become a terrorist? It's a fair point. I mean, we do know that a lot of women in India file cases when their boyfriends break up with them. And this guy just admitted that they had both broken up, right? So after that, why is she going to IRO to register a harassment complaint? What are the details of the harassment? Is it just because that she's bitter about the breakup? Does she want to get back with him? That's why she's filing the case? Is he maybe hanging around with other girls now, ignoring her, and that gives her jealousy? So that could be one of the reasons that she wants revenge. I'm not saying this happened. I'm just saying you're not giving me the detail of the harassment, and these are all the things that happen in India. So what are the details of the harassment case?
वहाँ के स्टूडेंट्स में फूट पड़ा और उन्होंने आईआरओ ऑफिसर गौतम नाइक को कन्फ्रंट कर सच्चाई जानने की कोशिश की।
4 हफ्ते पहले इधर एक कंप्लेन हुआ, उस लड़की ने बोला कि एक लड़के ने मुझे परेशान किया, वो मुझे हाथ लगाता है, मैनिपुलेट करता है, मेरे पास देता है।
उनकी शिकायत थी कि प्रकृति की कंप्लेन पर भी एक्यूज के पेरेंट्स को इन्फॉर्म क्यों नहीं किया गया और ना ही
Why? Why would they inform the parents? Did they inform your parents? And what was the conclusion of that case? Like, did they find him guilty or no? Because if they didn't find him guilty, they don't have to inform anybody. I just feel like you're not providing enough details to
नहीं
us.
कुछ भी राइटिंग में लिया गया। इसी बीच खबर आती है कि आद्विक फ्लाइट बुक कर
Because when you're saying like you're saying harassment, like what? Then he goes like, touched her inappropriately. This is one of the guys that are saying that over there, right? Touched her inappropriately and then manipulated her. What do you mean by all of that? Manipulated her. Touched her, I understand, but like, what's the evidence? Were you there? Hello? How do you know?
उनकी शिकायत थी कि प्रकृति की कंप्लेन पर भी एक्यूज के पेरेंट्स
She's the alpha widow, according to Red Pill.
क्यों नहीं किया गया और ना ही कुछ भी राइटिंग में लिया गया। इसी बीच खबर आती है कि आद्विक फ्लाइट बुक कर भुवनेश्वर से भागने की फिराक में है और इस इंफॉर्मेशन के बेसिस पर पुलिस की एक टीम आद्विक को एयरपोर्ट से अरेस्ट कर लेती है। गौर करने वाली बात यह थी कि आद्विक के पास मिले बोर्डिंग पास में जो बुकिंग टाइम मेंशन्ड है वो 16 फरवरी की दोपहर 1:47 का है, यानी प्रकृति की लाश मिलने से लगभग 1.25 घंटे पहले ही आद्विक ने फ्लाइट बुक कर ली थी। प्रकृति के पेरेंट्स का कहना था कि उनकी अपनी बेटी से आखिरी बार बात उसी दिन दोपहर 2:51 पर हुई थी और उसकी किसी भी बात से यह नहीं लग रहा था कि वो परेशान या किसी बात से तनाव में थी। वहाँ मौजूद फीमेल स्टूडेंट्स जो इस पूरी घटना की आई विटनेस थी, उन्होंने बताया कि जिस स्टेट में प्रकृति की बॉडी पाई गई उससे एक हद तक ये जाहिर होता है कि यह एक प्री प्लान मर्डर है। इन्हीं सब बातों से कॉलेज के स्टूडेंट्स को लगने लगा कि प्रकृति की मौत।
How do you know that? By the way, chat, it's not that I'm trying to dismiss a legitimate crime that may or may not have happened. It's a very serious issue. But why is it that everybody thinks that they know everything, but nobody has any evidence? How do the girls know the guy is responsible or it was a pre-planned murder? Now, there's something that this guy says. He says that Advik, her boyfriend, had booked a flight 45 minutes or something before her dead body was found. So, somebody might have had knowledge about her death and they tried to help him flee. These are the accusations that are circulating on Reddit a lot. And this is a conspiracy theory that he has picked up. But when I started the stream, I told you guys that this is a very favorable story to the side of the students. Right? Now, if I go to Reddit chat, for example, I'll try to find, right? The same thing. Hold on one second. And I will explain to you why there is a possibility that people tried to help him flee. And for a right reason, if it did happen. What I'm trying to find is a user who is anonymously coming forward to give story from the guy's side. And this user claims to be a close friend of Advik, and she also happens to be a woman. And she doesn't want to get any threats, so she's being anonymous and she's trying to tell people her side, his side of the story. And we're going to take a look at what she's saying. But before that, chat, what I was saying, right? Why is it that 45 minutes before her dead body was found, this guy tried to flee? That was somebody helping him? And does that make him guilty? Right? So, a lot of people on Reddit were saying, why did he try to run away? if he was not responsible for her death, right? And this is the exact question this guy is asking. And I have just the answer for it. Now, if you look at this post right here, chat, I want to show you something. What is it that is written on this comment here? By the way, the subreddit is KIIT University. These are the students who are organizing the protest, right? And what exactly are their intentions here? Read carefully, chat. Advik was trying to fly off from BBN airport literally an hour or so before they found her dead, right? This is the same story that the YouTuber is telling because he has taken their version. So he had an idea that something is about to happen. Get this, Advik, the punishment he deserves, he's not a juvenile. Dude, he effing made that poor girl call herself a whore. I swear I want Advik dead. No wonder the college was helping him flee, because they know that you guys had these intentions of inciting a mob and ending his life. Because if I remember correctly, this is not the first time somebody has cried false rape and the guy has been found dead by a mob. There was a case in Dimapur some time ago, and a woman cried false rape, and as a result, people incited a mob. And let me show you what they did to him exactly. This right here is what they did to him. You see this body right here, chat? Yeah. And that was an innocent. So when they know, right, that you have a bloodthirsty mob that is sitting on the campus, that is, and by the way, Reddit has kept this comment up. So no wonder they helped him flee, because it's not that they're afraid of the justice from police. They're afraid of the students who intended to end his life if he was there. And they didn't want that. So they were protecting him.
मौत एक बड़ी कॉन्स्पिरेसी का हिस्सा है जिसे कॉलेज एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन दबाने की
A man is guilty. Bro, let me read all of these. I missed a lot. Okay, they were both in the game. Yes, they were both in the game. Bro, looking at the situation, it's easy to get an Eastern European model for some time with proper agreement rather than dating. It's legally risky. A man is guilty until proven innocent. A woman is innocent until proven guilty. This is exactly what I meant. Like, some people think that, chat, some people think that you just utter a word rape, right? And since it's considered a heinous crime, unacceptable, as soon as the word is uttered, it's a dog whistle for everybody to attack whoever is being accused. And everybody that day has a license to commit any acts of violence on behalf of the accuser. And it's all justified. And this is why it's a dangerous game. Because you guys, this mob of students is not asking for justice. What it's asking for is violence. My guy getting evidence from Cave of Reddit, damn, that are ultra feminist. I even read another comment. I didn't have the time to look that one up, which said the same thing, that if they didn't help him escape, they were gonna end him. They're saying it themselves.
कर रहा है क्योंकि लखनऊ का रहने वाला आद्विक श्रीवास्तव एक रिच और स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड की फैमिली से बिलोंग करता है.
This is another accusation. Now, Other thing people were saying that he belongs from a rich and wealthy political family. Well, guess what? Then Reddit peddled another fake news that he is the son of a politician. Politician who? This guy, Manoj Srivastava. As you can see, the post is tagged here. Advik Srivastava. Tag his father. Where is this coming from? Insta celebs gossip. Anybody who's been on Reddit, they know this is a cesspool of bunch of toxic women that spread fake news all the time. And they want incitement all the time against men, right? So they say that he's the son of Manoj Srivastava. Well, guess what? 2 news channels checked this story and they found out that political worker misidentified as Odisha KIIT case accused father. So how do you know that he's the son of a rich and wealthy family? What is your source? Insta celebs gossip? No, this image doesn't show father of the accused in KIIT student case. It is a fake news. Now, what else is coming from this subreddit that people are consuming to believe the story, right? So when we looked at one of the first time people saw these accusations, right? It was coming from multiple subreddits. Teen India, ICSC, BTech Hearts, Insta Celebs Gossip. It's the same subreddit that is spreading the fake news about a father who's not the father, right? Pahadi Talks, Siliguri subreddit, right? All of these are being spread around. Now let's take a look at what are the titles they're using. And this is the first and second day that this information was coming out, right? So it's 6 days ago. Now look at the headline, chat. A girl from KIIT Bhubaneswar deleted because of this grapist devil. The same headline in Teen India, grapist devil. Next one. Whoever is still confused, here is the clear sequence of events. I'll read this one actually later. Let's go through the other ones first. It's a celebs. This guy raped a Nepali girl and blackmailed her and she committed self-delete, right? These are not isolated posts. These are the posts that sensationalize the news. Look at the likes on this, 5.7k upwards. 500,000 people must have seen this post. Teen India, let's take a look at how many upwards there are here. 14k upwards. 500,000 people have seen each one of these posts. Insta celebs, 756 upwards. Calling him a rapist. Now here's Pahadi Talks, 2.7k upwards. Today a Nepali girl committed suicide in KIIT, one of the best colleges in East India, after a guy raped her for months and threatened to post her pics and videos online. Nobody provided evidence for any of this, right? No evidence. Is he a rapist? This is what I was saying just earlier, that you use the word grape, you have people supporting you blindly, thirsty for blood. They don't want to fact check it. So then we looked at one of the comments here. Let's go to Teen India for a second. Okay, a few hours later, this guy admits. He goes, read this chat. This is the guy who posted it. He says, a girl from Nepal in KIIT committed self-delete recently because this guy in the photo tortured her, threatened her, and abused her. His call recording also leaked. Then you read the second paragraph, and it says, I am sorry I wrote the word rapist without any evidence. Can't change the title now. But that's not the point. Point is how he abused her to the point that she ended herself and committed self-delete. So let me get this straight. You didn't have any evidence of rape, but you used it. And he goes, I found the context on Siliguri sub and they have mentioned him as rapist, so I copied it. So at this point, everybody is spreading fake news without actually getting to the truth. First, it goes to Siliguri sub, then it goes to Teen India, then it goes to ICSC, then it goes to Insta Celebs, then it goes to Pahadi Talks, right? How many people saw this at this point and got incited without any basis? 500,000 people have seen each one of these posts. Combined, they might have reached, I don't know, 2.53 million users. And then the news organizations picked it up. And this whole time, the whole rage was about something that is unreliable? Is that what you're telling me? They directly considered him rapist. The Batman movie differentiates between justice and trust-driven revenge. Yeah. Wow, grape is now a common word. Grape is now used in a watered-down way, the same way people use Nazi in a watered-down way. Anytime we don't like somebody, we'll just call them Nazi, and that's it. End of story. Their entire character is discredited. If even Conor McGregor can face this, who are we? You. Look, other Indian guys are not getting agenda. They don't want to leave. They want you to become their ATM for life without asking anything. That's their agenda. That's a lot of women's agenda for sure. Who give this guy the source? The call recording is not a source. Like, I can make a fake audio recording too. Like, what the fuck? No. I'm not disputing the recording. What these guys are claiming is that he raped her. That was their original accusation. Everybody's original accusation. That was not in the recording. So how did you know he raped her? Are you just saying that because you know that people will blindly support whatever it is that acts of violence you want to commit if you use that word? That is your source. So let me get this straight, right? So all of these people who spread the fake news are also the people who spread the fake news about him being rich, which also turned out to be fake, right? He was clearly not the father. He's clear, and we don't know if he's rich, but this politician is not the father. These news agency fact-checked it. And that is coming from the same subreddit who spread the fake news about grape. So at this point, why are we believing the people who are changing their versions again and again, who don't know the truth, who just know hate and violence? Now, let's take a look at one final post right here, right? Improvised story, right? It went from grape to he's rich. Now, where is this? Okay. So basically, anybody, title is, guys, the title is, regarding the KIIT incident, whoever is still confused, here is the clear sequence of events. Let's see how clear is the sequence of events. Okay. So basically, this guy, Advik, blackmailed his girlfriend into sending him nudes. The story has completely changed. Guys, the story completely changed. How many times do you get caught lying and you make up a new story to cover up your previous lie? Now, what is the evidence? First, you didn't have an evidence of grape. What is the evidence that he blackmailed his girlfriend for nudes? I'm supposed to believe you? I'm supposed to believe the people who said he raped her and found out that they had no evidence? I'm supposed to believe the people who said he's rich, son of a rich politician, and that turned out to be fake? Now I'm supposed to believe the same people who are saying he blackmailed his girlfriend into sending him nudes? What is the evidence? So, Jab, what do you think about all of this? It doesn't matter what the truth is. The only thing that matters is what people believe to be true. Majority is gynocentric, so it becomes the truth. Democracy is fueled with majority, not the truth. That is accurate. There was a time when white supremacy was popular, and the President of the United States, Woodrow Wilson, screened a KKK movie called The Birth of the Nation in the White House. A sitting president was running a KKK movie in the White House and also appealing for their votes. Why? Because they were popular. White supremacy was popular at one time. And today, the same incitement is used against men. Just utter a word grape, and people will give you the license to commit any act of violence. Just like they used to dehumanize black people with false rape accusations. And it used to give them a license to spread hate, conduct non-judicial trials, to kill them, burn their effigies. That's what they want here. But anyway, let's read the rest of it and then go back to the video. Let's see what else he has. So right now, 2 of his accusations have been proven wrong. Nobody knows if this guy is rich. Even after, okay, let's read it. Having sex with him even after a breakup, or else he'd leak the sex tape with this Nepali girl, committed self-delete. Yesterday, our uni tried to send that guy back to his home. Otherwise, he'd be dead here. This is the post. This is what I was saying. It's not that they are trying to protect him because he is guilty. They are trying to protect him because the mob at the university has every intentions to kill him. They want to have mob lynching, not justice. They don't want the fair investigation. They want the law in their hand. They are admitting it right here again, second time. He'd leaked their okay, yesterday our uni tried to send that guy back to his home, otherwise he'd be dead here, but the police caught him at the airport. That's a better outcome, actually. International Relations Office did nothing, and right now the boy is in police custody, and he used to be very abusive to her, and iska ek voice note. Chat, you read the Hindi part, okay? The warden cleared the girl's body from the hostel without calling the police at all, when the entire hostel was in Badshah's concert yesterday, and they probably even tampered with the evidence because forensics said they'll be coming in the morning at 6. Now, I don't know about this part, whether it's true or not, but this doesn't have to do anything with the guy. So I'll continue reading and we'll see where it leads to. It doesn't matter what, also Sagar, the judiciary system in India is axial system, not the system to find the truth. And I will show you judicial precedents of what judiciary says in cases like this when the genders are reversed. Judiciary doesn't look for the truth, but a great debate. Judiciary is the same as politicians, and you just said it, right? People don't care what the truth is, they care what's popular. Judiciary also doesn't care what the truth is, they only care about what's popular. And protecting female criminals is popular, and holding innocent men guilty is popular right now. I'm the same guy, Sagar, the meninist, love you bro, just joking. Guys, anybody who knows the context about our Discord conversation, spam W in the chat for Sagar changing his name to Sagar the meninist. In a bromance way. Sagar, come on. Okay, he subscribed. Sagar, thank you for subscribing. You're too late. You should have subscribed before. But anyway, let's chat. Let's finish this and go back to the video. We have been asking them where the girl's phone and laptop go because it has crucial evidence of that guy blackmailing her. Chat, I found the video of these people, students, arguing with the college founder, right? And they were asking, and they are admitting it right here, that they want the crucial evidence of that guy, of the girl's phone and the laptop. But you need to understand, as the people who have every intention to kill the accused in this case, as people who have spread a lot of fake news by calling him rapist and rich and turned out to be wrong, you have every intention to tamper with the evidence and obstruct the investigation of the police. Why do you think you're entitled to the evidence? You can delete anything you want to. You can plant anything you want to. You can change witnesses' story based on the evidence you see in the phone. That is not a fair investigation. So why should anybody have a right look at the evidence before the police? But the wardens and supervisors never responded to us no matter how much pressure we put on them last night, and the police went inside the hostel to investigate, and when they came out, we asked them if they even know the victim's name. They said they don't. That boy is the son of a politician, and it's very much possible he'll get out easily. This is the third time they have said that he's the son of the politician. And you guys want access to phone and laptop? The liars are the ones that are asking for the last evidence that is available to be handed over to them. Really, guys? Really? And as of now, KIIT has released a notice to all Nepali students to vacate the hostels and have given them tickets to send them back home after dropping them off to the railway station to downplay the uproar. No. They're sending you back because you are a little terrorist. That's what I've seen so far. This is what I'm saying. The YouTuber is giving a very favorable side of the story to the students. It's coming out that he's been assaulting the girl mentally and physically all this while. No evidence. She had been trying to report it for a month now, but they didn't register or take any action against it. No evidence. And she had to kill herself to be free from that man and the lack of help from the embassy, college, everyone. Yeah, template copy-paste of Atul Sabash. Now, let's go back to the video, chat. What did we learn right now, chat? He's a little bit lazy, bro. He was aggrieved by your great hair. That's why he didn't subscribe earlier. No worries, bro. My comment is getting deleted. I'm not deleting chat. Chat, some comments are maybe automatically deleted by YouTube if they're controversial. I don't know what's in there. But yeah, it's not from me. Yep, chat. It is on the screen, but not here. Assumption, presumption. Hi, Vijay. All laws are based on assumption and presumption. People would rather want a lie, which comforts them, rather than truth, which gives them discomfort. Hi, Panda. I mean, I would say psychologically, once you have made a claim, right? And then even if you realize that your claim is wrong, you've gone too far. I'm talking about these students. You've gone too far to tell a lie, to now back down, right? So I think a lot of people's ego gets tied. Is that we have made people believe a story, and now we're finding out that our story is wrong. Should we admit that we are guilty and wrong, or should we double down and sell the same story even more? Make a lot of noise so the real truth gets buried under our noise. So I feel like, I don't know if these students actually believed their story from the beginning. If they did, and when they found out that they were wrong, they started doubling down because they're the ones that are wrong in this case and they don't want to admit it. Now let's take a look at the rest of the video chat. So far we have found he's not the son of the politician. Nobody has evidence he's rich. All the people who are accusing him were wrong about him being a rapist, were wrong about him harassing her. And they had every intention to end his life. So he was not fleeing from the justice. He was fleeing from a violent mob. They have admitted it themselves. Students.
यह एक ऐसा बिगड़ैल अमीरजादा है जिसके लिए कॉलेज एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट नहीं बल्कि वो अड्डा है जहां वो शराब, पार्टी और मनचाही अय्याशी को अंजाम देता है.
And how do you know that the girl wasn't doing the same? I mean, chat, am I wrong? This is not even that big of a deal. I haven't gone to college, but I've heard a lot about college, and all the people there are drinking alcohol, having a lot of sex. That's a common behavior with both men and women in colleges. How is it that that is somehow related to his character? When women accuse guys of rape, right? Courts say that do not evaluate her character, what her previous sexual history is. That has no weightage on the fact that whether or not she consented or did not consent. Because earlier people used to say she's a slut, you know, she sleeps around all the time. So she must have consented to this guy too. She's not a virgin. So if woman's sexual history is not a certificate of her character, why is his history about drinking alcohol a certificate of his character?
इसकी 2 मिनट 33 सेकंड की एक कॉल रिकॉर्डिंग सामने आई है जिसमें ये प्रकृति को भद्दी भद्दी गालियां देते हुए बेहद घटिया लहजे में बात करता है।
मेरे मुंह मत लग, मैं सच बताना कुछ उल्टा सीधा कर दूंगा। पूरा दिन शांति से रहा था, खाली जब आती चली आती है। मेरी मैंने स्टार्ट किया सर। माफी मांग प्रकृति, मेरे मुंह मत लग से।
मुझे कुछ माफ कर दो।
बोल तू से बड़ा मुंह चलता तेरे की तरह।
आद्विक के दोस्त का यह ऑडियो भी लीक हुआ है जिसमें यह साफ होता है कि प्रकृति इसके साथ कितने टॉक्सिक और अब्यूजिव रिलेशनशिप में थी।
We tried to stop the girl. We went and spoke, and then again she got back with him. Then he manipulated her.
Why did you get back with him? You get back with him and then he manipulates you. How does that work?
Not to be friends with us anymore. So she all, it was all a scheme, and we don't know about the scheme. And then he broke her nose also last year.
And who is this guy? How do you know that he's really a close friend of Advik? Where is his face? Where is his name? How do you know that this is not one of the protester students who's guilty of wanting him dead and is advocating for his own mob by spreading fake news? How do you know that? Can you verify these details?
We tried to complain. We went everywhere, but nothing happened. And I was friends with the girl also.
पुलिस ने बॉडी को
Yeah, I was friends with the girls also. So you have a motivation to lie in favor of the girl. If men wanted, they would never even let feminism start. Well, it's not that simple, Sagar, actually. If you look at the history, it is not that simple. But we'll cover that later on. I just want to ask, if Indians become extremely aggressive against the opposite gender, would it take any long to get feminism vanished? You mean women? Extremely aggressive against women? You can't do that, given how many organizations there are and how much control they have. Great part majority done when a breakup happens too, like it was 60% something data actually. That's why it was changed to BNS 69 charge actually, which is up to 10 years in prison. It was actually in 2019, it was 50% of the cases were filed by women who were upset that their boyfriends didn't want to marry them. It was in the NCRB report, 50%. And the next year it was 40%, 2020. So yeah, they are very bitter. And I think it's completely explainable. This explanation makes sense. Like, I don't know if it's true or not, but she could be just heartbroken and couldn't handle it. And as you saw in the email she wrote to the guy earlier, she is a mentally weak person. She had written an email saying how much people, when they hate her, she's talking about her girlfriends, it bothers her and it makes her want to cry. This is a person who is mentally weak. Why there's so much simping in Hinduism? You tell me, man. There's a lot of simping in entire India. It's not just Hinduism. Like, I don't know, maybe it was that data of Delhi. No, it was a national data. But I'm not going over that right now because we'll get digressed. It was a national data, 50%. So chat, which is the recording that this guy is talking about? He says in the recording, he was giving really bad verbal abuses to her. The relationship was toxic. Right? And this toxicity was further then corroborated by another one of anonymous friends of the girl that he broke up with her, right? And then she wanted to get back with him, so she did. Then he manipulated her to break her relationships with her other friends and blah, blah, blah. None of this is an evidence of murder. Indian culture promises estrogenic diet. What is going on? Now, chat, I want to reveal something to you. So, just like this guy has an anonymous recording in this YouTube video where he claims that one of the girl's friend testifies and corroborates a version that the guy indeed is guilty of manipulating and harassing her, right? Listen to this recording one more time, and then I have an anonymous source that is close to the guy's side. And while her story is not in this video, right, Advik's side of story is somewhere on the internet, and I have found it. And that story tells you the recording that is being circulated about him verbally abusing the girl What is the context behind that recording? What is the argument actually taking place? And this girl, who is Advik's friend, has told his side of the story on the internet. I will give that to you. So let's listen to this quick recording again, and then we'll go to his version.
इसके साथ कितने टॉक्सिक और अब्यूजिव रिलेशनशिप में थी.
We tried to stop the girl. We went and spoke, and then again she got back with him. Then he manipulated her not to be friends with us anymore. So she it was all a scheme, and we don't know about the scheme.
It was all a scheme, but we don't know about the scheme. But the scheme exists. She got back with him, and after she got back with him, he manipulated her to break up her relationship with her friends. It was all a scheme. We don't know the scheme, but there was a scheme.
And then he broke her nose also last year.
He broke her nose last year. Do we have any evidence? No.
We tried to complain. We went everywhere, but nothing happened. And
We tried to complain. Do we have any evidence that here is the complaint that we gave? No. Where is the complaint?
I was friends with the girl also.
पुलिस ने
I was friends with the girl, so I have a motivated agenda to give a selective version in her favor. So now, chat, let's go back to the recording that has been circulating. Let's listen to that recording, and you tell me if you know what they're arguing about in this recording, chat. And if you don't know, then I will tell you what they could be arguing about. Okay, this is a recording, chat.
को छोटा सीधा कर दूंगा. पूरा दिन शांति से रहा था. रंडी साली जब आती माँ चुदा की चली आती है. मेरी मैंने स्टार्ट किया साली रंडी कुत्ती हो. माफी मांग प्रकृति, मेरे मुंह मत लग मादर चोद यहाँ से.
अजय कुछ माफ कर दो.
बोल तू रंडी मादर चोद.
है
साली कुतिया साली मादर चोद. क्या मैंने क्या स्टार्ट किया है यहाँ पे?
कुछ नहीं, मैंने स्टार्ट किया.
साली रंडी की बच्ची, मैंने क्या स्टार्ट किया? बोलना मादर चोद. मादर से बड़ा मुंह चलता तेरा रंडियों की तरह. पट 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 कॉल करने लगता है बहन की लोड़ी. सिर्फ इसलिए कॉल नहीं. मादर चोद सोच लेता हूँ तेरे बारे में, वही मैं हक देता हूँ. मादर चोद साली तेरा पूरा दिन मेरा सुकून से गया था. जरा सी चीज होती झाट तेरे कुछ नहीं अकल में आया. झाट तूने कुछ नहीं सीखा. ज्ञान चोद रही थी बीच में. हाँ मैं अपने आप को सही करूंगी, मैं अपने आप को शांत करूंगी. लाना कुछ नहीं कर पाई तू. हाँ मुंह खोलती हक देती है. क्या बिगाड़ा भाई मैंने तेरा? क्यों मेरे मुंह लगती है सुबह शाम?
मुझे कॉल ही ना किया कर आते.
मादर चोद वही तो मेरी गलती जो कर दिया था.
वही तो अपनी गलती मान और निकल.
तेरे से अपनी गलती नहीं मानी जा रही तूने माँ चोदाई.
So, chat, so far what you're hearing, he's calling her a lot of names. And this is the evidence that is being used to hold him guilty for her murder. The verbal abuses. Now, he just said, why don't you accept your mistake? And the girl says, why don't you accept the mistake? What mistake are they talking about? Why is this guy so frustrated that he is using verbal abuses? Are the verbal abuses enough of an evidence to blame somebody of somebody's self-delete? Can verbal abuses lead to somebody's murder? And if verbal abuses lead to somebody's murder, how many people in India or in the world would end up in prison for that? How many wives that do yap, 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 yap all day with their husbands would end up in prison when their husbands die? Because they verbally abuse them. So we're going to take a look at two things. First of all, what is it that they're arguing about? What is this mistake that they're referring to, right? We're going to listen to the rest of the recording so everybody has the full context, right? Second thing we're going to take a look at, are verbal abuses an acceptable standard for courts and the police to arrest women when they verbally abuse and the guy dies? Do they then arrest? Does the court then hold them guilty for verbal abuses, for their murder? So we're going to take a look at those two things. But let's finish this recording and then we're going to see what they're arguing about.
माफी मांग गया अद्विक, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया.
रंडी रोना बंद कर. चीज को समझ, निकल यहाँ से. बता क्या किया था मैंने, बता. जल्दी बोल भाई. रंडी रोना मत कर यार.
मैंने पूछा, मैंने बोला कि नहीं मैं वाले मोमोज लेके आई. तूने बोला कि मदन की याद आ रही थी इसलिए गई. क्यों बोला अद्विक?
Chat, listen carefully. This is important. She said, you accused me of thinking about, or saying that I was thinking about a guy named Madan.
शुरू में भी मैंने बोला था ना, तू मदन मदन कर रहा था, तब मैंने बोला नहीं आद्विक मदन
तुमने
का
क्या
कुछ
मदन
नहीं
मदन
है,
बोला?
मुझे नहीं पता, कुछ बोला था मदन क्या।
Who is Madan, chat? What is this argument?
तेरे से अपनी गलती नहीं मानी जा रही तूने माँ चुदाई।
माफी मांग आद्विक, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया।
रंडी रोना बंद कर, चीज को समझ, निकल यहाँ से। बता क्या किया था मैंने, बता जल्दी बोल भाई, रंडी रोना मत कर यार।
तूने पूछा, मैंने बोला कि
क्या?
दीपक वाले मोमोज लेके आई, तूने बोला कि मदन की याद आ रही थी इसलिए गई।
हाँ।
क्यों बोला आद्विक? शुरू में भी मैंने बोला था ना, तू मदन मदन कर रहा था, तब मैंने बोला नहीं आद्विक मदन
तुमने
का
क्या
कुछ
मदन
नहीं
मदन
है,
बोला?
मुझे नहीं पता, कुछ बोला था मदन की याद आ रही है, बोला
जबरदस्ती
था
बोला था
तूने।
मादरचोद।
हाँ,
तो दीपक
तूने
की मोमोज वाली
बोला
बात
था।
के बाद ही बोला था बस।
उससे पहले, सबसे पहले कॉल उठाते ही बोला था मदन की याद आ रही है, बोला था तूने।
Chat, who is Madan?
हाँ शायद बोला था, बट जो भी है देखो, जब तुमसे दीपक वाली मोमो की बात आई प्रकृति, देखो श्वेता वाली चीज को लेकर
Chat, notice carefully. Another name has entered the chat. Shweta. Who is Shweta? Listen again.
देखो श्वेता वाली चीज को लेकर रान साली तो अभी तक रंडी रोना करती है, जो मैंने एक बार गुस्से में बोला था, और तू कल अगर गुस्से में मदन मदन
He says, you brought up Shweta that one time and started bitching about it. About Shweta. Who is Shweta?
तेरे से मैं आज नहीं बोल सकता है, कुछ नहीं बोल सकता क्या? खुद याद कर, कल रात को सोते सोते जगा के तूने उठा के टॉन्ट बोलना शुरू कर देना, श्वेता को लेके
अच्छा, उसका रिवेंज ले रहे थे।
He's still accusing her of bitching about Shweta. It's gone from Madan to Shweta.
ठीक है, लो आते।
भाई रिवेंज की बात नहीं प्रकृति, मैं तुम्हें एक लॉजिकल
Now a word revenge has been mentioned, chat. What do you think is going on, chat? Madan, he accuses her of thinking about Madan. Then he says, you were bitching about Shweta. Then he mentions something about revenge.
चीज समझा रहा हूँ।
Interesting, right, chat?
श्वेता वाली चीज को लेके 2-3 हफ्तों तक रंडी रोना कर सकती हो, टॉन्ट मार सकती हो।
मैं सेम चीज बोलूं तुझे कि तूने ये क्या था, तो मैं भी ये करे, तू मुझे कितना गाली सुनाता, कितना गाली देता है तू मुझे।
प्रकृति मैं तुम्हें सेम चीज एक
मैं करूँ तो गलत, मैं ना करूँ तो भी गलत।
मतलब कुतिया मैं तेरी माँ चोदूंगा, मैं सच बता रहा, रंडी कहीं की सेम चीज नहीं है, अलग है। तो भाई मिर्च मसाला रंडी की बच्ची, मेरे मुंह मतलब बार बार कह रहा हूँ।
He said it's not the same thing, it is different. The guy looks very frustrated and the woman is crying and he's abusing her every now and then. Casually. Abusing meaning profanity. That's what's happening, right? That's an accurate word. Who is Madan? Who is Shweta? What is the revenge? And what's going on? So, chat, I have some answers. Now, chat, you may remember earlier that I said there is a girl who's Advik's friend, and anonymously she's trying to release his side of the story somewhere in the corner of Reddit. She doesn't want to be identified, so she's remaining anonymous. Why she's remaining anonymous is she says that she doesn't want the threats. And is her fear justified to remain anonymous given the stories we have read earlier that the protesters are saying that they want the guy dead, right? This is exactly what the guy said. I swear I want Advik dead. And it says here again, Uni tried to send that guy back to his home, otherwise he'd be dead here. Is it fair for his friends to remain anonymous because the same thing could happen to them if they tried to give their side of the story? So this is the girl. First comment that I saw of her was here, right? And what was she commenting about? She simply says, posting this anonymously because I don't want to get into this chaos. I'm a very close friend to Advik and have had conversation about this girl and context long before. There is another side of the story that you don't know. And what's that? Firstly, they were in consensual situationship that was broken by the girl's brothers. Yeah, she's saying that the relationship was broken by girl's brother. Studying in the KIIT, then she was the one who tried to do anything to get back with him. Even Advik was mentally disturbed due to this relationship, and I have seen him in severe anxiety due to this. Yes, the call recordings and everything is totally vile, but he was also trying to move on from this girl. And it has been heard saying that Matt Bhatkar Mirsay. Okay, Chad, you read the Hindi part, okay? Why did the girl continue talking to him? Apparently, blackmail with nudes, but has anyone received any evidence of this? He had the options to be physical with this girl, as I know there were some others interested in him. Chad, you just listened to the recording and they were arguing about Madan and Shweta. And now this girl is saying that he had the options to be physical with other girls. He was trying to move on, but she wanted him so bad. Right? I had also seen him politely decline romantic approaches from other girls, and the grave molestation accusations are completely false. Want to accuse him of blackmail? Fine. Do that and investigate. Mirch Masala Dalna Band Karo. That's what she's saying. Ask his many female friends if he has ever abused them or made them feel unsafe. Plus, Prakriti and Advik spent Valentine's Day together on a date. Chat, Valentine's Day was less than 10 days ago. And they were claiming, chat, am I wrong? Weren't they just saying repeatedly that she complained to the IRO about harassment? Then why was she out on Valentine's Day with him? So you're telling me that you come and these were the protesters that were claiming that, am I wrong? Where are they? Yeah, this is it, right? He said 4 weeks ago. So 4 weeks ago, he says that the woman complained to the IRO about him harassing and manipulating her. Then how is it that on 14th of February, she was on a Valentine's Day with the same guy that she complained of harassment and manipulation? She was dressed up and Advik posted her pic smiling, holding flowers, playing with cats. Wow, this is the same guy who harassed you? If really he was harassing her, why would she get dressed up and go on a date with him? People are being misled with half-truths. I plead to all of you, let's find out the whole truth. So I clicked on this profile. It says Anonymous Savior. And I went to her previous comments. And I wanted to read everything that this woman has to say about Advik. And I find something interesting. And keep in mind, this woman is not saying let him go. She's saying punish him for that, but invest and get evidence before you punish him. Don't accuse of rape and murder without evidence. But I found something interesting about what were they arguing about in a recording that is circulating. Who is Madan and who is Shweta? What is the revenge? Why was he verbally abusing her by using profanity? The answers are here. This girl says, you haven't understood. Madan is the guy Prakriti was missing, and Advik was taunting her about that. In the recording, he says, Madan की याद आ रही है, इसलिए दीपक मोमो के पास जीवाई. As a revenge, Prakriti started taunting Advik कि श्वेता की याद आ रही. In combination with that, this woman says that he's a very close friend of Advik. They used to talk for hours. Obviously, I am very close to him. Recording suno, jealousy and sab leke jagda hora, not anything about blackmail. She says it's because of jealousy that they're fighting. His evidence in his phone, I'm just a friend he used to share things with. I don't know anything like this would happen, else I would have kept recordings and screenshots too. Just hoping police does proper investigation. She was attached to him badly even when he said to leave him alone. That gave rise to tensions between them and abusive language and whatnot. And of course, Advik should be punished for it, but correlating it directly to her death and murder and rape, that's not right. So chat, now we know what they're arguing about in this recording. The story in full is that they had broken off a consensual relationship last year due to girl's brother. She was attached to him, so she was the one who was trying to get back with him. Advik wanted to move on, and he had multiple offers from girls that he was declining. That made the girl jealous. So she would call him again and again. This would frustrate the guy who was trying to move on, right? And then he would also bring up, then so is she talking to another guy. So then out of jealousy, they were fighting. But it's the girl, as you can see in the very YouTube video, he shows us the email early on. And this is, I don't know about you, chat, but this anonymous user that I just found looks more credible than anybody else in the story, because everything that she's saying is matching all the other details. Because in this email that Prakriti has written, right, you can see that this is from November, I think. And she's saying she's in a consensual relationship with him. And she is mentally weak. She said, I don't have my heart to talk to you today. Maybe never. I'm so hurt that I cried to my mom saying, everyone hates me. It bothers her. She was worried, how am I handling all of this alone? I'm glad that I opened up to her. Thank you for taking me to trips and showing things. These were all new to me. It was so fun. She's having fun with him, right? I'm going to remember you always, only the best part. I'm sorry about everything I told and did. I'm sorry for hurting you. You don't deserve me. I'm really bad. This is a person with low self-confidence and low self-esteem. I hope you will take fair care of yourself. You're really strong, Adi. Trust me. Everybody has had a clingy girlfriend once who is also emotionally weak, and this is one of those. She's the one, right, who consensually gets in a relationship with him, who's appreciating, who's also saying that friends talk shit about her, it bothers her, right? She's mentally weak. Then they break up in November. Then she wants to get back with him later on, right? When he's trying to move on because she's clingy. Then she's jealous about him trying to see other girls. And he got frustrated, so he used some profanity on the call, right? Then on 14th of February, and apparently these protesters are saying that 4 weeks ago she had complained to the IRO about harassment, but on 14th of February she is going on a date with him with flowers, smiling. It's the anonymous user that makes the most sense at this time.
chancellor ने स्टूडेंट्स को ऑडिटोरियम में बुलाकर
So we're going to take a look at the rest of it and let's see what other accusations he has.
समझाने की कोशिश की।
जो भी इंसिडेंट्स से रिलेटेड जो
आद्विक को अरेस्ट भी कर लिया था, लेकिन इसके बावजूद हालात और बिगड़ने वाले थे क्योंकि सच छुपाने के लिए
Chapri couple, barman indeed, Joshi hum homo de chuke sanam. Lika, guys. Wow, you guys are just resorted to all Hindi chat here. I'm having trouble reading this. Okay, somebody said Madan X KK. I don't think he's an ex. I think this is just other people that sometimes when you want your boyfriend or girlfriend back, you try to make them jealous by seeing other people. You hope that your partner, your ex, would get jealous and want to come back to you. This is one of those cases. Okay, I will hang out with Madan to flex how easy it is for me to move on and get other guys, and this will make him jealous. He would want to get back with me. I think it's one of those things, right? And chat, I think we missed one thing. So if verbal abuse, chat, is a fair accusation to convict somebody of murder, somebody tell me, what is this? Because if I go back to the recording, people are saying this is the conversation between Advik and Prakriti before she passed. This is audio of Prakriti and Advik before Prakriti passed. How a man can do behavior like this. Nepali girl suicide, self-delete in KIIT due to continuous harassment. Same recording. According to some sources, has been caught while running at the airport. I'm not a student of KIIT, blah, blah, blah. Let's go back to that X post that was drawing accusation. This guy is responsible for a self-delete of Prakriti. Hundreds of Nepali students got beaten up because of his actions. Some officials may lose their jobs. Anti-India sentiments in Nepal increased because of him. Just needed to control his Havasi nature and let that girl go. Is it really that simple, incognito? As somebody who doesn't have even 10% of the story right, he's the one who let her go. Dumb fuck. Now chat, if verbal abuses make for a case of self-delete, why is it that when husband ends his life due to wife calling him ugly and impotent, doesn't qualify for police arresting her and courts convicting her? Because if I read here below, it says Supreme Court has let off the wife by upholding the quashing of her prosecution under Section 306 IPC for allegedly abetting the self-delete. They quashed the case without even trying her. She didn't spend a single day in jail. And the guy ended himself because of his wife's verbal abuse. Why do we have a two-tier justice system, chat? Let's take a look at this. Is it justifiable that if your boyfriend or girlfriend dumps you and you end up deleting yourself due to trauma, heartbreak, should your boyfriend be arrested? Because when a husband died, or not a husband, but a guy died because his partner broke up with him, the court says if a person dies by suicide due to love failure, the partner cannot be held accountable for abetting it. Court grants anticipatory bail to woman and her friend, despite the fact that her boyfriend ended himself because of breakup from a woman. They don't think it's a justifiable reason to arrest the woman. So why is Advik arrested for verbally abusing and for breaking up with Prakriti? Isn't that a double standard? And a very dangerous double standard. Feeling sad for Advik Being. If people knew this side of the story, I bet everybody would feel sorry for it, because it just looks like he just broke up with her and she was a clingy girlfriend that couldn't handle it. And that frustrated him, and that's why he was using profanity on the call, because he was irritated.
कॉलेज एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो खेल रच रहा था वो वहाँ के स्टूडेंट्स को साफ नजर आने लगा था और इसी वजह से उन्होंने इन्वेस्टिगेशन में सच और ट्रांसपेरेंसी की डिमांड रखनी शुरू की, जिसके चलते उसी दिन शाम को वाइस चांसलर ने स्टूडेंट्स को ऑडिटोरियम में बुलाकर उन्हें समझाने की कोशिश की।
जो भी इंसिडेंट्स से रिलेटेड जो भी एविडेंस होंगे, चाहे रूम का कोई चीजें होंगी, चाहे वो किसी भी तरह का डिजिटल डिवाइस है या किसी भी तरह का कोई पेपर वर्क है या कोई भी चीजें, वो उसी तरह से हम लोग हैंड ओवर करेंगे और ये सभी लोग का दायित्व है। आप लोगों से हाथ जोड़ के विनती है कि आप लोग इस बात को इस तरह से ना करें।
लेकिन स्टूडेंट्स की
This is the most fair thing to have been done by the administration. A lot of people are blaming the college administration for mishandling it. But the guy just said that we want to do fair investigation. We have all the digital devices we will hand over to the police. What is it that you're upset about?
फैल रही थी कि क्राइम सीन को टेम्पर किया गया था क्योंकि पुलिस के आने से पहले ही वार्डन ने बॉडी को KIMS हॉस्पिटल भेज दिया था जो उन्हीं की यूनिवर्सिटी का हिस्सा है और इन सब की।
But why do you think that's tampering the evidence? Isn't it like if you found somebody in a critical condition or believe that they tried to end themselves, would you also not try to send them to a hospital thinking that they may be alive?
सबकी गवाह उस वक्त वहां मौजूद गर्ल स्टूडेंट्स थी। इतना ही नहीं, ना कॉलेज स्टाफ ने इमीडिएटली पुलिस को इन्फॉर्म किया और ना ही
Now that is something I can agree with. If they didn't inform the police, that is wrong. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but they should have informed the police.
फैमिली को उल्टा एविडेंस मिटाने के लिए प्राकृति के फोन, लैपटॉप और डायरी को वहां से हटा दिया गया। इसलिए जब पुलिस वहां पहुंची,
That is also fair because she lives in a dormitory, chat, where there are other students who can tamper with the evidence. This is not a private home where the woman lives alone in an apartment. Like, for example, Atul Sabash, he died in his home, right? So there is no need to remove any evidence from his place. It should be found the way that it is. But in a situation where you're living in a hostel and you have roommates in there, you know that they're going to come back. And if you leave the phone and the laptops in the same place, students are going to access them and tamper with the evidence. So there are all the reasons to remove it and keep it in a safe position to where police can get them without them being tampered with. Why are you manipulating the story?
तो स्टूडेंट्स ने वहां पुलिस से क्राइम सीन को खोलकर उन्हें प्रकृति के लैपटॉप, फोन और डायरी दिखाने की मांग की, जिसके बाद पुलिस का दिया हुआ जवाब उन्हें अनसेटिस्फैक्टरी लगा।
बच चुके सुबह हमारा साइंटिफिक टीम आएगा, साइंटिफिक टीम, फोटोग्राफर्स, उसके सामने हमारा रूम को आप देख सकते हैं। अभी रूम नहीं खोल सकते हैं।
स्टूडेंट अश्योरेंस चाहते थे कि अगर क्राइम सीन से छिड़खानी नहीं की गई है तो किसी एक स्टूडेंट को रूम खोलकर प्रकृति का फोन और लैपटॉप दिखा दे।
You are not the family of the victim. Chat. As the students who protested and intended to delete, they directly said they want him dead, right? Twice they said they want him dead. I want Advik dead. Why would they show you the evidence? Are you dumb or something? Police has every reason to protect evidence from these students. They are not even the family. And if they show you guys the evidence, right, which is out of the protocol, by the way, even when Paneet Karana and Atul Sabash died, they were asking, family was asking to release their videos to them, Paneet's video to them. Police was denying. But the premise under which they were asking the video to be released is because the video was recorded for the world to see. And it was only the family who was asking to release just that video, not the entire phone. Because if you release a phone or a laptop, it may have other forensic evidence that can be used in favor or against the investigation. For example, some of these students or protesters may be guilty of something, which they are, of inciting and intending to kill the accused. You could see some evidence there and spread that information to the entire group. And all of you people will change your story, which will further lead to people giving false or manipulated testimonies during the trial. Or outright deleting some evidence. Why would they show you anything? Chat, these students are not the ones that are supposed to conduct a trial. It's a judge that is going to do that. Why do you want the evidence?
They're lying. They're lying. They're lying. They're changing their points every second.
उनकी यह डिमांड इसलिए थी क्योंकि गर्ल्स हॉस्टल के वार्डन ने हॉस्टल की लड़कियों के सामने पुलिस से यह कहा था कि रूम में कोई फोन नहीं है। पुलिस की कही हर एक बात उन्हें इसलिए झूठ और
I can rationalize why the college would say that to the students. To calm them down and to basically make them believe that there is no phone or laptop in the room, so they stop asking for it and they settle down. Because it is not something that is to be handed to the students. And as a mob who is inciting, gathering, organizing, becoming violent, you are trying to, if you knew that there is a phone and a laptop there, you would break into it and get it. So there is every reason for the college to lie to you for the right reasons. Because they don't trust you.
और कवर अप लगने लगी क्योंकि जिस फॉरेंसिक्स टीम की आने की बात पुलिस कर रही थी, उनके आने तक क्राइम सीन को एक मैंडेटरी प्रोसेस के तहत सील नहीं किया गया था।
Police are lying with us. They are changing every lines. They are changing every statements. Please help us, Indians.
स्टूडेंट्स को लगने लगा कि आरजीकर की तरह यह मामला भी दबा दिया जाएगा क्योंकि यहाँ पर भी वही पैटर्न साफ नजर आ रहा था। इसलिए प्रकृति को इंसाफ दिलाने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स ने प्रोटेस्ट करना शुरू कर दिया। जब प्रोटेस्ट पूरी रात चलता रहा तो स्टूडेंट्स को शांत करने के लिए कॉलेज के फाउंडर अच्युतानंद समंता को खुद आना पड़ा। वो रिक्वेस्ट तो कर रहे थे, लेकिन जिस इंसाफ के लिए स्टूडेंट्स इकट्ठा हुए थे वो उसे बिना लिए वापस नहीं जाना चाहते थे। इसी बीच भीड़ भाड़ के बढ़ने और धक्का मुक्की के चलते फाउंडर जमीन पर गिर पड़े। धक्का भीड़ भाड़ का था या फिर इंटेंशनल, यह तो क्लियर नहीं है, लेकिन इस बात का फायदा
So, a founder of the university was trying to settle them down, and these guys allegedly shoved him and he fell. The narrator of this video is saying that they didn't shove him, he accidentally fell on his own. The message is asking, stumbled or pushed? The reply is, can't be 100% sure. Yet the narrator of the video narrates it in favor of the students.
भाग का था या फिर इंटेंशनल, यह तो क्लियर नहीं है, लेकिन इस बात का फायदा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन और फैकल्टी ने पूरी तरह उठाया।
Now he says the faculty took advantage of the fact that the founder fell. But only the founder or the person who pushed him would know whether he fell organically or he indeed was assaulted. So now we have some context into the recording that was circulating here. And this has been the big news. Who cares, bro? Feminists care about everything said for them. And a Momo app KIIT की cuisine है. इसमें गलती दोनों Momo. Chat. Why is my chat freezing again? Chat. Time is not far when Nepali students like these would want to end somebody's life by feeding too many momos. Required to make a momo meme from chat text meme template. Please do that and send it to us on Discord. Chat, I cannot see you guys. I think I need to reset my chat again. Hold on. And then we're gonna take a look at this video because now we have some context. Okay, chat is back. Great. Great. So they were circulating this video, chat. And what were they saying? That these teachers were saying that a budget of your entire country, Nepal, is less than that of this university. And that you guys should not misbehave like this. And that the founder of the university is doing charity to have you guys here. These are the kind of remarks that were made by these teachers. And these teachers have been made to apologize for their remarks. Everybody thought that was very racist. But nobody knew what the context was. So now, chat, we know the context. The context is, just before this video, the founder was trying to calm the students down. And he fell. Was he stumbled or pushed? The user says he can't be 100% sure. There is a chance he may have been pushed. So I think then in this context, it's fully fair for the teachers to make the remarks that they did in anger. Because the same university that is accepting these students in a foreign exchange program or whatever it is and educating them in their country, those same students are coming and destroying the reputation of your university, creating protests, threatening to kill somebody, and then assaulting the founder of the very university that you're in, but allegedly. If that has really happened, this aggression is very justified if you listen to this recording with this context.
You yourself has done this to you. कल रात से समझा रहे हैं तुमको कि local administration take over कर लेगा. तुम नहीं सुन रहे थे? Pack your belongings and just leave.
It's completely fair for them to now want to send them back, given that they have assaulted the founder, given that they have intended to kill the guy.
Or else we'll leave and break and reason police will come. Okay. If we leave, the police will come. Okay.
These students were saying that fair investigation is not being done, whereas the college administration itself is saying we will call the police on you guys as well.
You record this also that you have said okay for this. You yourself have said okay for this. What is our mistake? What is our mistake?
It is the teachers that are made to apologize. After the fact that students are the ones that allegedly may have pushed the founder. Where is the apology from the students, chat? Somebody was saying earlier, truth doesn't matter, popularity matters. It's popular to hold the administration accountable, but not the students. So chat, I think you've all seen the recording, but what people have not seen, right guys? I don't know if you've seen the video of the founder when he was pushed. And I think I have the video of the conversation that was happening between the founder and the protesters that night. And this is the video, chat. Now it doesn't show pushing in this, but it does show what the founder was really saying.
मैं एडवाइस करता हूँ तुम लोग को, मुझे तो पता नहीं, तुम लोग जाओ, मुझे कष्ट लग रहा है, तुम लोग
Let's see what the students, how they respond to this.
पढ़ने से नहीं रात भर बैठे हो, कोई एक चीज नहीं है जो डिस्कशन करके हम लोग सॉल्व नहीं करते हैं.
Chat, isn't it fair? This guy was merely saying that you guys should calm down. We can resolve everything with a discussion, right?
तो मैं तुम लोग को रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, एडवाइस कर रहा हूँ, आराम से तुम लोग अभी चले जाओ, सो फिर कल परसों जो भी है बैठ के आ जाओ, बात करते हैं.
And that is also fair that he says you can come back tomorrow to have the same discussion.
चलो
टाइम नहीं है ना सर, कल हमारा सामान मिल जाएगा, फिर उसके बाद हम लोग चले जाएंगे.
Now, most people, when they listen to the fact that she says that our stuff would be gone by then. Yeah, listen carefully. One of the students says to the founder, this is the night right after, no, the night of the death. These guys are standing outside. And this lady says, my stuff will be gone by tomorrow. So it doesn't make sense for us to go now and come back tomorrow for this discussion. What stuff is she talking about? Most people thought that she's talking about the stuff that the university then evacuated and sent them back to Nepal. So she's talking about the fact that they're about to send them back and then they will not be here tomorrow to have the discussion. But no, that's not what's happening here. At this time, nobody had made any plans to evacuate or send the students back. She's talking about a stuff, something else. And what exactly is that stuff?
सामान मिल जाएगा मैं.
Founder doesn't know what stuff is she talking about.
फॉरेंसिक टीम का वेट करेंगे. अरे वो सब होते रहेगा.
So they want the stuff, meaning the phone or the laptop, that forensic team will take tomorrow morning at 6 or 7 a.m. Does that make sense? So just now this YouTuber was claiming that right after the death, the college campus was trying to calm them down in this auditorium. And they said the forensic team will come tomorrow at 6 or 7 a.m. Students said, take one of us there, we want to see the evidence. The police was not okay with that. So that night, the founder then goes to calm him down. And then the lady in the protest goes that we cannot come tomorrow because by tomorrow the stuff will be gone. The founder goes, which stuff will be gone? The students then respond, the forensics team will come tomorrow. They will take the evidence with them. So they want the stuff, meaning the mobile phone and the laptop, before the forensic teams take them. This is what they're protesting for. Tell me how that is not the obstruction of investigation. How can you access the evidence?
सुनो, यहाँ बैठ के क्या फोरेंसिक टीम को वेट करना चाहिए तुम लोग को? ऐसे करना नहीं चाहिए, ऐसे बिल्कुल मत करो. फोरेंसिक टीम वो सब अलग चीज, वो तो.
These are the founder and college administration everybody's blaming, but so far it looks like to me they're being fair.
तुम लोग परसों फिर आओ.
परसों का टाइम नहीं है.
सुनो, मैं समझ नहीं पाता हूँ, एक लड़की ने किया, तुम लोग उसमें देखो, लड़का जो भाग रहा था उसको ये लोग अरेस्ट करके रख लिए. सबसे पुलिस बोल रहे, बोला
Chat, look at the distrust of students. The guy says the guy has already been arrested, Advik. And the protester goes, said who? And the founder goes, said the police. And he indeed was arrested. These students are all cuckoos. Okay, they have mentally made up their mind. Right, chat? This is what I meant when I started this stream. I said, is it possible that this is a bloodthirsty crowd which is blinded by their hate and violence? They don't want to see the evidence or the facts. Right now, they were denying that, oh, we want the access to forensics. Then they were accusing of rape, right? Then they were accusing of harassment. All of that turned out to be false. Now the guy says that the accused has been arrested. And the protester denies it. Says, no, it hasn't been arrested. Said who? This is a mob that doesn't want to accept any facts. They want to make up anything and everything to justify their behavior. Why wouldn't you accept that the guy has been arrested when he has? And if you won't accept truth A, truth B, truth C, how many lies do we have to see to understand that this mob is not interested in justice or truth? This mob is interested in just hate and violence. What do you guys think about this?
कौन means
Lying, they're changing their points every second.
उनकी यह डिमांड इसलिए थी क्योंकि गर्ल्स हॉस्टल के वार्डन ने हॉस्टल की लड़कियों के सामने पुलिस से यह कहा था कि रूम में कोई फोन नहीं है। पुलिस की कही हर एक बात उन्हें इसलिए झूठ और कवर अप लगने लगी क्योंकि जिस फॉरेंसिक टीम के आने की बात पुलिस कर रही थी, उनके आने तक क्राइम सीन को एक मैंडेटरी प्रोसेस के तहत सील नहीं किया गया था।
Buddy, YouTuber, I don't know where you're from, but they don't seal with tapes the same way they do in US. At least I haven't seen that happen in crime scenes.
They are lying with us.
Chad, have you seen it? Please let me know. Maybe some isolated police are advanced. Maybe some in Mumbai do it. I don't know. But majority of the police, because I've had a robbery happen next to me and that was pending for forensic analysis or evidence, right? They didn't seal it as a crime scene like they do with the tapes and everything. I don't think even in Advik Subhash's case they did that. So he's just making up stuff that doesn't exist in most places in India.
They are changing every lines. They are changing every statements. Please help us.
You were the only one that changed all the statements.
Indians.
स्टूडेंट्स को लगने लगा कि आरजीकर की तरह ये
I had intended to be as fair as possible, chat, when I started the stream, but so far from the evidence that you're seeing, I just don't see how the guy is responsible. I was willing to accept that administration to a certain point was responsible for mishandling it, but given all the evidence that I'm seeing, I feel like college administration was also being fair. But everything that the students, protesters, and fake news spreaders on the internet are saying is all inconsistent, is all blinded.
ये मामला भी दबा दिया जाएगा क्योंकि यहाँ पर भी वही पैटर्न साफ नजर आ रहा था। इसलिए प्रकृति को इंसाफ दिलाने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स ने प्रोटेस्ट करना शुरू कर दिया। जाना चाहते नहीं है, लेकिन इस छुट्टी है। ऊपर से KIIT के स्टाफ ने यह अफवाह उड़ा दी कि नेपाली स्टूडेंट्स ने फाउंडर के साथ मारपीट की है, जिसके बाद सिचुएशन काफी अग्रेसिव हो गई।
Yeah, you just showed the video and text messages where they admitted that the founder did fall, and they asked on his own or did somebody push him, and the students there said they are not 100% sure. Either is a possibility, so it is a possibility that they did assault him, and it is fair to then send them back given all the context we went through.
जहां एक तरफ कॉलेज की सिक्योरिटी ने प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे सभी मेल स्टूडेंट्स को बुरी तरह पीटना शुरू कर दिया, वहीं
Now that is not good.
गर्ल्स हॉस्टल में फीमेल फैकल्टी ने नेपाली गर्ल्स स्टूडेंट्स को धमकाना शुरू कर दिया।
बोलो मत, सामान जल्दी पैक करो, नहीं तो पुलिस आके पैक करेगा। सामान पैक करो, यहाँ कोई भी यहाँ दिखाई नहीं देगा, पुलिस करेगा। जो भी यहाँ दिखाई देगा उसके आगे उसका डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन होगी।
I guess the meme is coming. Where from Neve. Neve, I will look forward to that.
रुकी क्योंकि इसके बाद उनकी तरफ से आया ये बयान काफी शर्मनाक था।
40,000 बच्चों को आदमी खिला रहा है, पढ़ा रहा है, फ्री में बिठा के।
Chat, if the founder got assaulted by the students, tell me how this statement is irrational.
शर्मनाक था।
40,000 बच्चों को आदमी खिला रहा है, पढ़ा रहा है, फ्री में बिठा के। तुम्हारे कंट्री का उतना बजट होगा, उतना बजट होगा।
None of this has to be accurate. It is a valid frustration. If your family member was assaulted, let's say by your brother or sister, right? Let's say they assaulted your father or mother for no reason, right? Would you also tell your brother or sister who assaulted your father or mother that you're a degenerate? He raised you, and you're assaulting your own parents for no fucking reason. Would you also be mad like these women right here who are faculty members? So if you don't give people the context, it makes them believe the administration is wrong, But when you know the details, it changes your entire perspective, doesn't it? I will make it tomorrow, brother. My Da Vinci software got a problem. No worries, man. You take your time. We be waiting for your memes whenever you have it ready.
ये स्टेटमेंट देने वाली कॉलेज की एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर मंजुषा पांडे और गर्ल्स हॉस्टल एंड स्टूडेंट्स अफेयर की जॉइंट डायरेक्टर जयंती नाथ थी। और जिस शख्स की वो बात कर रही हैं वो हैं कॉलेज के फाउंडर अच्युतानंद समंता, जो किस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के थ्रू 40,000 गरीब बच्चों को खाना और एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करते हैं। और इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में इन दोनों ने नेपाली स्टूडेंट्स को ऐसा बेहुदा कमेंट पास किया था। यह सब 17 तारीख की सुबह 7 बजे शुरू हुआ। एक तरफ जहां स्टूडेंट्स को धमकाया और मारा जा रहा था, वहीं दूसरी तरफ कॉलेज अपने सोशल मीडिया हैंडल पर अपने फेस्ट की सक्सेस दिखा रहा था। इसके बाद सुबह 8 बजे कॉलेज नोटिस जारी कर सभी नेपाली स्टूडेंट्स को यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस खाली करने का ऑर्डर देता है, जिसके चलते 3 इंटरनेशनल हॉस्टल में वार्डन और डीन दाखिल होते हैं, जिनके साथ कॉलेज सिक्योरिटी, बाहर से बुलाए गए गुंडे और जिम ट्रेनर तक शामिल थे। वार्डन के पास उन सभी
So chat, I think in the rest of the video, we don't have anything because I have covered all the other side of the story except one. And I just skipped through that, okay? This is the last part we're going to take a look at and see whether or not this claim is true.
People of Nepal, I apologize.
सोशल मीडिया में दिखावे के लिए 2 मिनट का मौन रखने वाली फोटो जरूर डाल दी गई, जिसे लोगों ने पूरी तरह से फेक, एक नाटक और हुई
So chat, tell me how this is not mob appeasement.
जिम्मेदारी ली गई। हाँ, लेकिन सोशल मीडिया में दिखावे के लिए 2 मिनट का मौन रखने वाली फोटो जरूर डाल दी गई, जिसे लोगों ने पूरी तरह से फेक, एक नाटक और घड़ियाली आंसू बताया। 18 फरवरी की शाम जब स्टूडेंट्स कैंडल मार्च कर पीसफुली प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे थे, तो लोकल पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं ने
He says they were peacefully protesting.
मौके का फायदा
Keep that in mind.
तोड़-फोड़ करना शुरू कर दिया।
बोले थे ना कुछ पॉलिटिकल पार्टी का पता नहीं कौन कौन नेता लोग आके हम लोग को ज्वाइन कर लिया था। एकदम से बात करते करते वो लोग क्या किया ना, मतलब किट का आई लव किट बोल के एक बड़ा सा साइन है हम लोग के एकदम मेन गेट पे, उसको गमला मार के तोड़ने लगा। हम लोग इसको बिल्कुल सपोर्ट नहीं करते, इनको हम लोग जानते भी, इन लोग पता नहीं कहाँ से आ गया।
इस तोड़-फोड़ में भले ही किसी भी कॉलेज स्टूडेंट का हाथ नहीं था, लेकिन अब इसका इस्तेमाल असली मुद्दे से भटकाने के लिए किया जा सकता है। नेपाली स्टूडेंट्स ने कई पॉइंट में कॉलेज अथॉरिटीज के सामने अपनी कुछ डिमांड्स रखी हैं, जिसमें प्रकृति को इंसाफ दिलाने के लिए इंडिपेंडेंट पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन और पूरे मामले की निष्पक्ष जांच, इस नेग्लिजेंस के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल आईआरओ ऑफिसर्स के अगेंस्ट एक्शन, उन पर किए गए फिजिकल असॉल्ट और डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी रिमार्क की अकाउंटेबिलिटी और उसके अगेंस्ट लीगल एक्शन और सीसीटीवी फुटेज रिलीज करने जैसी मांगे।
Now chat, let's go back a second. This guy says the students are not a part of the violent protest. It was a political party who planted themselves as the students of KIIT and committed violence, discredited the entire protest. Now I'm going to be very, very fair. For as long as I have observed politics, this is not totally out of the question. This has happened a lot of times and happens now and probably will happen in the future. That anytime you want to discredit a protester, you send violent mobs there, acting as a part of the protest. And if they commit violence, the responsibility is pinned on the entire protest, correct? So it is possible that a political party did that. However, this guy says that the students were totally a peaceful protesters.
घड़ियाली आंसू बताया थे। तो लोकल पार्टी की शाम जब स्टूडेंट्स कैंडल मार्च कर पीसफुली प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे थे, तो
Now, buddy, you try to explain to me that how is it that these students claim one day after the death, during their so-called peaceful protest, that they wanted him dead. And then 5 days after, on the KIIT University page, these same students then say that I want Advik dead. By the way, it's on Reddit, wouldn't remove it either. Violent speech is allowed on Reddit, certainly, when it's in favor of women. You're telling me these are your peaceful protesters? So I am willing to accept that a political party might have infiltrated themselves into their protest and disguised themselves as one of these students and committed acts of violence to discredit the protest, but you can also not claim that the students, without the influence of the external parties, were not violent themselves. They had every intention of killing the guy. And how do I know that? Remind me again, in 2018, what was KIIT University in the news for? This is a news chat from 3 years ago. Let me just skip over the BLOOD.
KIIT यूनिवर्सिटी जो कि बहुत ही नामी ग्रामी यूनिवर्सिटी है, इंडिया का उड़ीसा में है। उड़ीसा के भुवनेश्वर में ये यूनिवर्सिटी है। वहाँ पर भी बहुत ही गर्मा गर्मी का माहौल बना हुआ है।
Here you go. You're telling me these students had no intention of becoming violent on their own? These are the students from 3 years ago. Why do you think they are committing acts of violence in the protest? Well, the answer is in the story. They believe that a guy has molested a girl in their university, and as a result, chat, what happened to my internet? As a result, what is happening here, chat, in this video? These are the students you're saying have no intentions to do violence. These guys. These fellas right here. Because somebody accused a man of molestation of a girl in their university, they're capable of doing this. They have a track record of doing this. Here you go, chat. Let's fast forward a little bit. So, my point is, chat. First of all, you morons, I only see men here. So much violence against each other. When a woman you think was molested by a guy, you are willing to fight amongst yourself and end each other over female approval and validation. How many women were fighting amongst themselves when Atul Sabash died? How many of them showed up in the protest for men's cause? You idiots with no self-respect. And then people wonder why the laws are single-sided. So chat, here are the Atul Sabash protests compilation. How many women are you seeing right now here? fighting between themselves for men. How many women are here, chat? Bangalore, Marine Drive, Pune, Ahmedabad, Kolkata. Where are the women? Chandigarh, Jharkhand. Where is the woman? Not a single one. Delhi, Odisha. Where are the women? So the gender that doesn't think you're worth a reputation of even 2 rupees, that is the gender you're lining up to protest for. That is the gender you want to kill each other for. I think it's a chat. I think it's a shameful or humiliating time for men to be alive. Yep, I know he's underrated as he speaks English. There are only 3 people in life. Yeah, no worries. We're 3. Okay, for 3 people who are here, I'll spam W in the chat for you. Chat, I don't know if it's English. I think I think it's a little bit about discovery as well. And a lot of you guys overlap between Professor and me. Like, we have common audiences. And if the same audience was watching Professor before they came across me, then you would prefer to watch Professor because you're attached to him, right? It's like a loyalty thing. So it's fair, like, understandable. We'll do live at the same time, you know? But yeah, I think if we grind enough, you know, eventually more people will come. I'm willing to wait for that. So chat, I think with that, I have concluded my case. Now, you draw your own conclusions whether Advik Srivastava is really guilty or innocent.